Good evening, everyone. This is Rajendran here, joining from Market Calls, and welcome everyone to introduction section on optimization. So, how to optimize a trading strategy is what we are going to discuss in this specific session. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a very simple trading system, and on top of that, I'm going to show you how to optimize a trading system and what are the different styles of optimization and why you should optimize. That is what I'm going to explain in this specific session. So before getting into the session, just give me a quick confirmation about the audio and video quality. I hope the audio and video quality is good enough to kickstart with the session. So there is a chat box down there. You can go and type it out. Yes. So Shreyas is saying yes. All right. That means the audio and video quality is good enough to kickstart. And as usual, the session is getting recorded, and recorded video will be available at the end of the session. So probably end of the day, you'll be able to access the recorded video as well. So without any further delay, what I'm going to go and do here is I'm going to build a simple trading system, kind of a down-chain channel trading system. I'm going to build it on I'm going to build and backtest. I'm going to do an optimization. That's what I'm going to do here. So I'll go to the last 10 years of intraday data is what I'm going to go over here. So here is the database, which contains Nifty and Bank Nifty data right from 2011 to November 2021, which is like approximately 10 to 11 years of data is what I'm having here. So I'm going to write a first trading strategy over here. If I'll go to new, I'll go to formula. I'm going to write a simple trading system. You know, every trading system, it begins with section begin and section end. So that is what I'm having over here. A blank module, which brings simple down-chain trading system, right? So this is what I'm going to build over here. And also I'm going to do a strategy optimization as well. Strategy optimization as well. So, you know, right, down-chain channel, which is nothing but a higher high of the value. So I need a look back period. I call that as a length. The length is nothing but I'm going to create a control param as a control. I'm going to say like look back period. Look back period. That is a text content I'm going to give over here, which is nothing but the label. Default, by default, I'm going to say like 20 period is the down-chain length. I'm going to keep it, but I can vary. I can give a control which varies from 1 to 100 is what it can vary with a step interval of 1. And I'm going to create an upper channel. The upper channel is nothing but higher high value. You see that it becomes a blue thing, which is nothing but a recognized Amibroker function. I'm going to calculate the higher value of, let us say, high of the candle for the last 20 bars. Instead of putting 20, I'm just giving a length value over here. Because under the length is a variable where I'm storing 20 by default, right? So that is what I'm doing over here. Likewise, lower is nothing but lower channel is nothing but LLV of low comma length. Again, so this will calculate the upper channel and lower channel. I'm also going to plot the upper channel and lower channel. So plot the upper channel and also plot the lower channel as well. I'll call this like upper channel. I give a color name, maybe upper channel color green. And likewise, I'm also going to plot the lower channel as well. Lower channel. I'm going to plot this as color red. Okay. And I also need candlestick as well. So candlestick with the axis is what I need. So maybe the candlestick, I can put it in a separate section. I open one more section specifically for plotting candlesticks, candle charts. Okay. Inside the candle chart, I'll post these values. I'll save it right now. Straight away, I'll save it. And then I'll open a new blank chart. I'll apply it. See that the moment I apply it, what will happen? I'm able to see the down-chain channel, a very simple down-chain channel with candle. That's what we programmed, right? We programmed to create what? We create a look back period with a control. We calculated the upper channel. So this is where we are calculating down-chain channel. So this is where we are having the formulas. Then we are plotting the channels. And finally, we are also here plotting the candles. So that's what we are doing over here, plotting the candles. And whatever we are doing over here, that is what it is getting reflecting on the chart itself. Now what? I want to design a strategy on top of this. And now I want to build a strategy over here. So my strategy is like very simple. I want to buy if the high of the current candle, if it is crossing, the price is touching the upper channel. But remember, current upper channel will always fluctuate. So I don't want to always compare with the current upper channel. I'm going to give a small delay over here. I'm going to say like upper equal to reference of upper comma -1. Here I'm just doing what? I'm just giving a delay. So 1 bar delay is what I'm giving. 1 bar delay. Okay. And likewise, lower channel also, I'm just giving an 1 bar delay. Reference of lower comma -1. This will not change much of the channel. Just only 1 bar delay will be there. Always the channels will be, once the current bar completes, only the new channel length will be calculated. Until then, live market, the channel will not fluctuate. That is very, very important. Even for automated trading or backtesting purpose, it is totally important. So now I'm going to run a strategy over here. I'm going to say like buy equal to, I'm just looking for a crossover. If there is a bullish crossover is what I'm going to look out for. If the high of the candle, if it is crossing the upper channel, I just want to buy it. And I want to sell it if there is a crossover of kind of a lower comma low. So here I'm just looking for an bullish breakout from the channel. It is always, it gives a buy signal. Here it is a bearish breakdown. It's more of a bearish breakdown. So I get a buy and sell signals over here. So to this buy and sell signal, right, I also gonna say like short equal to sell and also cover equal to buy. Short is nothing but short entry and cover is nothing but short exit condition. Okay. So whenever there's a sell signal, I also want to initiate a fresh short. Whenever there's a buy signal, I also want to close my old shorts. That's what it means. Kind of a long short trading system, simple long short trading system. And I'm also going to plot the signals over here. So I'm going to use a ready-made tool over here, plot shapes ready-made tool. It's a ready-made block I do use. I don't go and code every time. I have a ready-made blocks for those things. So once I save it and then I'll apply, you can see that the buy sell signals will be appearing wherever the conditions are getting satisfied. But remember what is happening? Multiple buy conditions are happening. So I want to remove excessive buy. I don't want a subsequent buy. I want only the first buy, but multiple buys, I want to remove it. Likewise, I don't want a multiple sell signals. I want only the first sell. Subsequent signals, I want to erase it. I want to remove it. So I'm going to use a function called xrem. So I'm going to say like, I'm going to redefine my buy. I want to remove excessive signals. Remove excessive signals. Multiple buy signal, multiple sell signal, multiple short, multiple cover. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to use xrem. So here I'm instructing Amibroker to look for a buy signal and remove multiple buy until the next sell signal arrives. Likewise, my new sell signal is, I'm doing an xrem of look for a sell signal, remove excessive sell signal, take only the first sell signal and keep on removing the multiple sell signal until the buy signal arrives. So in that case, what will happen? Multiple buy and multiple sell will get removed so that every buy will be followed by one short. One short is always followed by one buy. And again, it keeps on going on like this. All right. So that is something which is very, very important. Now the strategy is perfect. Maybe this kind of strategy fits for 15-minute strategy. Perfectly a simple trading system to trade on a 15-minute time frame. It's a carry forward trading strategy though. But the problem here is this is a trading model. So what we are having right now is that simple trading model. I'm also instructing like when to buy, when to sell, when to short, when to cover. So I just want to buy it. So my buy price. So buy price talks about at what rate you want to buy. Buy talks about when to buy. When to buy, when to sell. This talks about what? It talks about when. But this talks about at what price to execute. At what price to execute. Do you want to execute immediately? At what rate you want to execute? I want to execute when buy signal is happening. I want to execute exactly at the upper channel level. Touch of the upper channel, I want to execute. So at the touch of a channel, if I want to execute, I would say like value when buy signal is coming in, use the upper channel as my entry price. Likewise, sell price is nothing but what? I want to enter when the lower channel level is touched. That lower level is my entry point. The touch of the lower entry level is my entry point. So value when sell comma lower. Likewise, short price is nothing but value when short comma lower. Cover price is nothing but value when cover comma lower. So here is a strategy that we built. Very simple strategy, right? But let's go and do a backtesting. First of all, I'll save the strategy, file save as. I'll go and paste it inside my one of the strategy here. I'll go and paste it inside maybe where we can keep it. Trading system. I'll keep it inside trading system. I'll say like simple Donchian channel trading system. All right. So we built what? We built the calculation. I mean, we given a 1 bar delay. We plotted the channel. We created the trading signals, buy or sell signals, and also short or cover signals. This buy or sell signal, always it is either true or false. The output is always either true or false for each and every bar. But however, buy price, it stores the buy price. When the buy signal is appearing, when the buy is getting true, at that time it will go and store the upper channel price value. Now the strategy is ready. Only one more thing is required, which is nothing but the position sizing. Position sizing, you can add it anywhere in the code. So I'm just adding at the top of the code itself. Set position size. I want to say like I want to trade with only one lot of Bank Nifty. 1 star round lot size of Bank Nifty, comma SPS shares. So I want to bet one lot every time is what I'm going to do over here. So I'm going to send it to apply. Okay. Here is the system I had selected. I'm going to invest, let's say something like 3 lakhs worth of position is what I'm going to invest. Time frame, I'm going to select like 15 minutes. And I'm going to do both long and short. I'm going to make the percentage and commissions as 0.02%, enabling the futures mode. So this is what I had done. So number one, I'm selecting the periodicity. That is number one. I had selected the periodicity. Number two, I selected the initial equity. Number three, I selected long short. Number four, I had selected the 0.02. And number five, I had enabled the futures mode. Once I done with all those things, one more thing I have to do, which is not here. Backtesting settings is done. So where you have to do, you have to go to the backtesting setting. There's a small spanner icon here. Click on that, and then you have to do all those settings. Next important setting here is I have to go to symbol. I have to go to information. So symbol, information. You have to go to the contract specification. Under the contract specification, you have to enter the lot size 25. And margin deposit. You know, margin deposit it varies every time. So if you don't know the margin deposit, always you can go to the broker calculator and you can get it. Like I'll go to the broker calculator over here. So zero the margin calculator. You can go down here and probably you can go and get the equity futures. Something like Bank Nifty, right? Bank Nifty. Right now the margin is like 16.23. For the December contract. So I'll say like 16.23. This margin always changes, depends upon the volatility. So I'm just putting minus 16.23. Here, minus represents in terms of percentage. Okay, 16% is what you need to purchase the contract. That's more of a leverage, right? That is more or less it's a leverage. Almost 6 times leverage is 6 to 7 times leverage is what you are going to get. Now, I'm going to select all dates, all quotes. Means I'm going to backtest all the 11 years of data. I'm going to select current. Current always points to the whatever is there in the tab. Remember, it is no way connected to these tabs. Okay. When you are in the analysis, what is there in the top of the symbol section? Only that symbol will be, the current will be pointing to. So when I try to backtest, it will try to backtest on the Bank Nifty chart itself. So I'll click on backtest over here. anyways, I have to ensure that the stop loss, all the stop loss are disabled. So all the stop loss are disabled over here. Cover price seems to be check. So let me check cover price. Somebody saying that cover price we need to check. Yeah, exactly. It is supposed to be upper. Okay, I guess that is the small issue. And if there is any issue with the code, you can figure it out. There are no issues with the code as of now. And click on backtest. Backtest gives you the entry and exit according to whatever the entry price when you want to execute. Accordingly, it will select the entry price and also the exit price. What instruction that you are giving, exactly it will behave like that. And finally, you'll be able to go and see the overall results, whether the strategy is profitable or not. Right? You'll be able to see it from the charting section. A very simple strategy is done. So right now, what we done? We done two things. We done a very simple trading approach. It's a simple scientific approach, not a complex scientific approach. It's a very simple approach, simple trading system. So the system is very simple trading, simple trend following system it is. Maybe the system we call it as a model, trading model or trading system. Okay, we can also call it as a model. And we are on top of that, we are having a data. Now this is where we need to run any trading system. We need a data to back check. We need a model to develop a trading system on top of the data. Now this model, we have model trading parameters. This model has what? Trading parameters. Trading parameters. So what is the trading parameter? The look back length. Length is the trading parameter. You know, right? In your TV channel, I mean, if in your TV, you can control your volume, you can control the brightness, contrast. Likewise, in our trading system, we can control the parameter over here. One of the parameters that we can control is if I right click, go to the parameter, I'm having a controlling parameter. I can change the values. I can change the values accordingly. My trading system also behaves differently, right? So able to see that? If I choose a bigger number, I will see what? I will get lesser signals. Less signals. If I reduce the look back period, I will get more signals. You can see that more signals are appearing like coronavirus. It's been appearing. Lesser the signal, I mean, higher the look back period, lesser the signal. Here it is. Like we are adjusting the volume. So how do I know that which number is the better number? Is it 20 or is it 10 or is it 30? How do I know that? So that is where the optimization comes into the picture over here. So it is like fine tuning. I want to do some fine tuning. Maybe I want to fine tune on my profits. I want to fine tune on my losses. So you can choose what you want to fine tune. Do you want to fine tune on the profits, or do you want to fine tune on your losses, or you want to fine tune on the smooth returns of the equity portfolio? What exactly you want? You can optimize the trading system. You can slightly do some adjustments so that we will be able to fit to the model. At least we'll be able to get a lesser risk, slightly improved returns. If that is the objective, then we can go and do that very easily. How easily? I'll show you. It's not that complex. I go to the code. I simply change from param to optimize. Okay. And I'll save it. Now it will try to run the backtest for length 1, length 2, length 3, length 4, length 5. Likewise, it will try to run for 100 lengths. 100 length, that means 100 different backtests. 100 different backtests for 11 years, which is like almost how many years? 100 into 11. 1100 years of data of backtest we are going to do. Let's see how much time it's going to take. I'm going to click on optimize. So it will start running the backtest for length 1, length 2, length 3. It keeps on going up till 100. Hardly it's going to take how many seconds? Approximately 18 to 20 seconds is what it's going to take. 18 seconds. Imagine 18 seconds to backtest 1100 years of data. Each and every backtest is worth 11 years. Then there are 100 backtests. Each and every line is a backtest. Each and every line, this line corresponds to what? length 1. If I'm going to use length 1, so this is length 1. If I'm going to use length 1, then probably this is the profitability. If length 2, this is length 3, length 4, length 5. So here, if I go to the settings, if I go to portfolio, not portfolio, but if I go to walk forward, I can choose what I want to optimize. Let's say I want to optimize, maybe I want net profitability. So then it will try to, it will try to run the optimization for the net profitability over here. I can choose what I want to optimize. There are a lot of parameters are here. CAR over MDD is there. CAR net annual, compounded annual returns are there. Max drawdown is there. Max system drawdown is there. Winning rate is there. What do you want to maximize? So here it is, you can see that it is automatically sorting. Why? Because I said I want to optimize based upon the net profit. So net profit column is getting sorted over here automatically at the end of the optimization. So it tells me which parameter. It corresponds to the parameter of number 7. So what it is saying is like the parameter 7 is what having the highest profitability. But I want to say like I want to increase the profitability. At the same time, I also want to reduce the losses. Maybe in that case, I want to optimize on CAR over MDD. So I want an high CAR over MDD means higher CAR over MDD means increased returns, but reduce losses. Let's say I'll also go to walk forward. And here I'll say like CAR over MDD. CAR stands for compounded annual returns, which is returns, and divided by MDD stands for max drawdown, which is nothing but the risk factor. So it is return divided by risk. So means higher the number, higher the returns, but lower the risk. Let's see what is that particular parameter is all about. I'm just running an optimization. Now it will be optimizing based upon the CAR or MDD. I guess you should be able to follow my mouse. It's about to complete and automatically it gets sorted. End of the optimization is about to end. You can see that it completed. Yeah, I'm getting a number 1.91. This 1.91 is having a high returns. It is having what? It is having a, it's having a high returns, this particular number. I don't know what number it is. Still, I have to go and check it out. It is having a less drawdown. Drawdown is lesser, but still it is having a high profitability, high percentage of returns, but less risk. Less risk, high returns. I mean, high profits, something like that. High returns. So what does that parameter correspond to? Maybe that is what I would like to take it up. Rather than blindly sorting on net profit, I would prefer mostly CAR or MDD is one of my parameters. It's not the only parameter I look into that. It's one of the parameters I look into while designing a trading system. So what is that parameter? It comes to 6. Maybe it's not 7, but 6. 6 is a reasonable number. It's a very small number also. So now I go and change the number as 6. Probably it's a very simplified, optimized backtesting trading system. So I'll just trying to backtest over here. Now I'm getting a results. Now that results are pretty much decent and far superior compared to my previous one. And probably the returns are quite smoother. Maybe tomorrow if my returns are, let's say it's going to 0.03 or something, still the strategy would be giving a decent results. Does it give month on month proper results? If you could see what is the problem with the system. The problem, there is a small problem with the system. It's not like you can go and trade the system. Yeah, the system is profitable. Since 2018, it's been profitable massively, but there are issues with the system. There are times, right? The system is going for a drawdown. So here the system is going for a drawdown. Here it is going for a drawdown. So system itself going for a drawdown. So these are the drawdown periods. Probably one have to manage. It's not giving any consistent return. It is giving returns only over a period of time. Even if you go and check the profitability in terms of actual profitability, like this is all these profitability are in thousands. If it says 24, it means like 24,000. So some of the year it is giving losses. 2017 it had given losses. 2016 it had delivered losses. But look at the other years. 2018 decent returns on a 3 lakhs of capital, right? So 2019 it had delivered decent results. 2020 decent results. 2021 decent results. Remember, all these results are like just by plainly following the signals. No profit, no target, only from signal to signal. It doesn't matter. At times, market opens gap up, market opens gap down. Despite everything, the strategy is having a decent returns over a period of time. Remember, not on consistent returns. Why the returns are not consistent? Because market itself moves differently. Maybe you know that October market is different, November market is different. March 2020 market is different. Right now, what we are facing is different. Right. So completely we are in a different realm right now. Every month market returns differs because market movement itself every month it differs. It's not the same price action. So since we capturing signal to signal, it's more of a trend following strategy. Most of the trend following strategy returns varies. You can see that one of the month it is like 32,000 loss, 53,000 profit, 29,000 profit, again 100 means what? Almost 1 lakh profit. Again 18,000 profit, 25,000 loss, 34,000 loss, probably some 1,000 rupees profit, again 1,400 profit, 8,000 losses, 27,000 rupees profit. So net they had made a 1.29 lakhs profit. So you cannot look into the profitability month on month here. Yes, of course, this strategy is winning almost last 2 years. The strategy is tremendously winning, but that's not the case every time. Look at the 2019, like it's having a mixed bag. Continuously 3 months it was losing, and next continuous 4 months it had made profits. And again, one of the month it was losing, but still 1 month big profits, and again some small losses for the next 3 months. So there is no consistency in the number of months it is profitable. But when there is a decent volatility there, most of the strategies they tend to offer decent profitability. Volatility is higher, profitability also higher in a trend following trading system, particularly like a Dawn chain kind of trading system. It's a very simple trading system. Anybody can do that. But when the markets are slowing down, either profitability will come down. So notice 2013-14 are dull, boring markets. These are dull, boring phases. It offers very little returns, right? And 2011-12 are slightly excited markets, still not that excited, but slightly excited markets. Returns also decent returns. 2015, 16, 17, kind of we had seen a mix of bull market also, bear market also. But then 2015 is all about a strong kind of a bear market. It went till 2016. Slightly elevated volatility was there. It was doing good. But 2016, 17, that's where the bull market started again. It was a slow, steady bull market, and strategy is not able to capture any returns for almost 2 years. Kind of an emotional period. This is more of what? This is more of an emotional period. Many traders would have given up trading their strategies. Hey, yeah, the strategy it's waste of time. I'm wasting time in that particular strategy. But remember, always when you are planning to run strategy, I'll tell you who should plan to run strategies. Only those who think strategy as a business model for them. I'm having a free cash flow. I just want to park it. I want that the capital to appreciate over a period of time. I'm not concerned about, for example, 1 or 2 months of losses or 3 months of losses. I'm not concerned about that. But next 1 year or 2 years down the line, the strategy overall should have delivered a reasonable returns. Only those kind of people only, they should look for trading the trading system. Else, if you want thrill, always you can go and trade randomly. You can go and trade. You can go and buy a put option on Monday, right? So that's how you can go, and if there is a huge crash is there, you can go and get a huge money. But that's not the idea with systematic trading. Systematic trading is to trade using some mathematical model and create money using mathematical model. We don't predict anything. Without predicting, We only manage the risk here and thereby generate the returns. That's the whole idea about that. When there is a trend, it gives you maximum money. When there is a sideways market, yes, definitely strategy will erode the profits. That is what it do during a sideways phase. Sometimes the sideways market will be compressed. So only if you are trying to do something systematic and you want to make money out of it, it's a very slow and steady process, right? So it is not gonna, you're not going to end up making a huge money on one day itself. It is going to be a slightly a slow and steady game. Like a one day, it's not a T20 game. T20 game, if you want to do, you can go and bet on weekly options. It is more of a what? It's more of a test match cricket. Here, process plays a more role. We do get into systematic trading to reduce our emotions, to reduce our screen time in the markets. And thereby, we tend to get into the trading system to generate slow and steady returns. Not even slow, consistent return. If you want to do consistent returns systematically, still one can do that by playing with some income generation strategies or straddle strangle kind of strategies. Right? Those kind of places, yes, one can do still generate systematic returns over a period of time, still can be consistent using option selling strategies. So one can write an option buying strategies, option selling strategies, or future strategies. It's up to you how you want to design your trading system, or what do you want to achieve by designing a trading system. The goal has to be first fulfilled. I mean, you have to write your own goal. What do you want to do with the trading system? If your answer is like, I want to make a lot of money, then you should not get into a trading system at all. If your goal is to like, I want to make a return of 25% per annum or 40-50% per annum, if that is the kind of goal, I'm not sure whether which goal is reasonable or not according to you. So what you are expecting from the markets, or what you're expecting while designing a trading system, are you able to get a reasonable returns out of that? Are you able to generate reasonable returns out of that? Or if you want a consistent returns, then how you can make a consistent returns? What kind of strategies it will support? I'm not saying like consistent returns are not possible with systems. It is definitely possible. But for that, what kind of knowledge we need to acquire? Where do we need to implement? Should I have to implement in futures, or should I have to use options? Should I have to hedge it in the options? Should I have to sell both call and put options? Or should I have to run some iron condors or some monthly income generation strategies? How I can do it systematically, repeatedly, over and over and again, so that I'll be able to generate slow and steady returns over a period of time. All right, so now the goal is to what? We built a model. And we want to optimize that model. So initially we thought like maybe the 20 is the ideal parameter. Probably 20 is the 20 in Donchian channel is the default parameter we used. Default parameter. But however, later on, we figured out that we try to optimize CAR or MDD. We try to optimize, and which suggests that probably 6 is the best fit. Best fit means what? According to my goal is to what? Reduce the risk and maximize the profitability. So it's like we got the parameter 6, which is nothing but what? It is a according to that particular trading system, according to my goal, according to my requirement. It doesn't deliver a maximum probability, maximum profitability, but it had delivered close to maximum profitability. At the same time, it had given a reduced losses. Now, this is with one parameter optimization. You can do multiple parameter optimization also. You can optimize anything that you want to optimize. Anything, it's a controllable parameter and you want to optimize, you can do that. You can optimize your stop loss. You can optimize your targets. Like Donchian channel, you can bring a lot more parameters. Maybe at times you may have to optimize multiple parameters. Let us say I'll tweak the trading system slightly a little. I'm going to say like, I'm going to convert this into length 1 and length 2. I'm going to length 1 and length 2. Okay, so this is like look back period 1. Likewise, look back period 2. Look back period 2. Maybe I'll say like 20 and 20. By default, it's going to be 20 and 20. Or maybe 6 and 6. 6 and 6 is what we done, right? It's a maximum returns which is generated. So upper channel, I'll keep length 1, and lower channel, I'm just changing to different length 2. As of now, both are kept at the same value. But right now, I can have a different combinations. Upper channel, it can be different length. Lower channel, it can be of different length. Now, I can get even more better. I'm going to check, am I going to get even more better, best fit or not? So what I'll do, I'll go note down the, if I run the back test, probably this is the standard one. Am I able to improve the model or not? Now I'm having two controls, length 1, length 2, like volume and brightness. I'm having two controls right now. I can vary it. So here you can see that it is offering an annualized return of 16% CAGR, right? Absolute return is here, 417% in the last 11 years. This is what? This is almost a annual return is in terms of CAGR terms, compounded number. 16.29 is the compounded number. Is there any way where we can outsmart this number? So it is like, now I'm going to do what? I'm going to optimize. If I'm going to optimize, now it's going to run how many parameters? 100 into 100 combinations, which is like, it's going to do 1,000, 10,000 backtests it's going to do. So it's going to take 27 minutes. Remember that it's going to do 27 minutes. However, I know that I don't want to run for 100 parameters. I know it's going beyond 50 is a weird number. So I'll limit it to 50 only. Here also I'll limit it to 50. So 50 into 50, it is going to be 2,500 combinations only. So 50 into 50, it's going to be 2,000 combinations only. If I try to run, I am going to backtest only how many parameters? I'm going to backtest only maximum 2,500 combinations. 2,500 combinations into 11 years. How many years it is? So 2,500 into 2,500 combinations, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, likewise till 50, 50. That is what 2,500 combinations into 11 years of data, which is like we are going to run the backtest of 27,500 years of data. I'm going to backtest, and this entire backtest is going to take how much time? Just 6 to 7 minutes. Imagine that 27,000 years of data, complete backtesting result. Each and every line is a backtesting results. And it's going to take how many minutes? Only 7 minutes. And which parameter I'm trying to optimize? I'm trying to optimize for the car over MDD. Now, this optimization is called as an exhaustive optimization. So in an exhaustive optimization, what we are right now running is a 2-parameter optimization. 2-parameter optimization. And we are running all the combinations, 50 into 50, right? One parameter contains 50 and another parameter contains 50 combinations. So total 2,500 combinations or 2,500 parameters. 2,500 combinations is what we are going to backtest into 11 years. That points to 27,500 years of data, which takes how many minutes? Hardly 6 to 7 minutes. Imagine how fast an Amibroker is. Even Python cannot do this kind of wonders. Can we have a 45-degree line profit curve? Of course, that is what every trader's requirement is. But we have commissions, we have slippages, we have a trading cost. So we are never going to end up getting that 45-degree equity curve most of the times. It's very, very rare, and there are no such holy grail exists which can offer you a 45-degree line equity curve. Remember that. Maybe very close to 45-degree line equity curve is what we can offer, but definitely an ideal 45-degree line curve we cannot get at all, because markets are all about not only about rewards, it also about risk also. So the strategy when you are trying to run, it's all about reward, risk, reward, risk, reward, risk, reward, risk. That's how the equity curve itself is all about. Sometimes, right, it's all about reward, and then risk will be slightly higher, and then reward, risk, reward, risk, reward, risk, reward. It'll be a slow rewarding factor, and sometimes it'll be fastly rewarding factor. That's how markets are. So definitely we are not going to end up getting that 45-degree line. All right, so still another 4 minutes are left in the system. So this system, this optimization is what we call as what? Exhaustive optimization. It's not a smart optimization. Exhaustive optimization. And there is another way to do that. It's called smart optimization in Amibroker. Smart optimization. Because Amibroker supports a lot of optimizer plugins. Some of the plugin names are like CMAES. And there are a lot of other variations are there. Tribes is there. Tribes. SPSO. So these are nothing but what? These are optimizer plugins, inbuilt optimizer plugins. Some of them, they use genetic optimization. Genetic optimization. Some of them, they use AI models to predict which is the best optimizer parameters. Straight away, it offers, it throws the best possible parameters. So a lot of various methods has been used. SPSO stands for Swarm Particle Optimizer. Likewise, CMAES, Tribes, each and every kind of optimizer, they use different intelligent techniques or different statistical techniques to arrive to the best parameters. Which is fastest, if you ask me, exhaustive optimization is the slowest in the planet. And the smart optimization is the fastest one. Fastest. I'll show you. So right now what we are doing is a exhaustive optimization. You know that it is taking almost, still it is running, right? So still almost 7 minutes is not over yet. Still it is running. But in the meantime, you might end up getting some best parameters. So far, the best parameter that we got is here is, this is one of the best parameter we got, which is like 18 and 6. Still not up to the mark yet, because CAR over MDD is still like, what is the CAR over MDD? CAR is better, 19%, which is definitely an improved annual returns. Is it possible to show us AI model smart optimization? I'm going to show you everything. Don't worry. Just listen. First, we'll complete the exhaustive optimization, and then we'll go for the smart optimization. Just because you are using smart optimization doesn't mean like you will be getting that holy grail parameter. Let me tell you that. It's the fastest way to complete the job. It's fasten up the skills. That's what it does, right? But yes, it also saves you a lot of time. So another 1 more minute is left. Only if you run that exhaustive optimization, you will be able to get something called 3D optimization chart. That's why I'm just doing that. Otherwise, generally, I'm not a good player of exhaustive optimization. I don't like exhaustive optimization when the number of variables are very, very high. Particularly, you want to do multi-parameter optimization. So another 15 seconds is what? So how many years we are backtesting? Again, I'll repeat again, 27,500 years of backtesting. You had seen in front of your eyes, everything, each and every line is an optimized parameter. And finally, we got, yes, here we go. We got that best parameter, or probably best CAR over MDD. what it is pointing to, it is pointing to something like 49 and 30 or 14 and 6. So these are some of the best parameters that we can offer. Maybe I can take 14 and 6 because it is very smallest number and it's not a weird number also. 14 and 6, it's a very commonly available number. So I prefer to use 14 and 6 than 49 and 30. 49 and 30 is, according to me, it's weird. 49 is something which is very close to 50. So 14 and 6 is what I'm going to use it over here. 14 and 6. So I'll replace 14 and 6 is what I'm going to use. If I run this combination, if I run this back test, so I'll be able to get a result, something better compared to the previous one. So it is, I'm able to slightly improve my annual returns. Earlier, the annual returns are like 447%, something like that. Now the overall returns has been improved to 519. Returns also increase, risk also reduces, and thereby I am able to get a decent equity curve, comparatively better than the previous one. Remember here I'm using a 0.03 as the, what is 0.03 as the percentage commissions. Now some people think, right, so why do you use 0.03 percentage? I'm charged only 20 rupees brokerage. Let me tell you, there are commissions, there are, you have to pay GST, you have to pay turnover charges, you have to pay, what else, like stamp duty, STT, so everything put together, right? It generally comes around to 0.012% if you're trading in futures. And it varies for different, symbol to symbol, it varies. If you're trading in commodities, then cost will be slightly different. And along with that, you also have commissions and slippages. Everything put together, it generally narrows down to 0.02 to 0.03. Mostly 0.03, very rarely 0.02, and sometimes it can be 0.04 also in highly volatile markets. Higher the volatile markets, higher is going to be your cost. Lower the volatility in the markets, lower is going to be your trading cost. Particularly, you're going to punch market orders, if in case you're going to punch market orders. So assuming that you are managing the slippages, everything, then the strategy is going to deliver returns, slow and steady returns comparatively, which is comparatively better than our 6,6. I'll show you with 6,6 what is the challenge that we had faced. 6,6. If I am going to use 6,6, which is nothing but 6 is the downchain channel, I'll run the backtest, which is a single parameter, right? It's a length of the channel on the upper channel and down channel is more or less same. So you see the win rate is something which is like 34%, which is very lower, but still, even with the low probability of winning, even with 34% profitability, 34% win rate, it is able to generate a returns, but it is not a consistent return. But compared to that, 14,6 is much smoother with same number of 14,6. Rather, I'll change it to 14,6. Here, my equity curve. Equity curve talks about what? How your money is growing over a period of time, which is comparatively better. Not only the portfolio equity curve, but also the risk also, to some extent, it has been controlled. And now here is the profitability. You can see that most of the places, the profitability has been improved, except only one zone, only in this phase, this 2016 and 17, because of the dull, boring, low, volatile, sideways markets. Market had delivered a lot of slow losses, not of much big losses, but mostly slow losses. But remember, maximum volatility we had seen in 2021, 2020. These are the two phases we had seen maximum volatility, maximum fluctuations, big fluctuations in the markets. You know what I'm talking about. If you're there in the markets for the last 4 or 5 years, at least you know what I'm talking about there. 2018, 19 are slowly fluctuating markets. Market itself was fluctuating very slowly, right? So it was like the fluctuation itself, something goes like this. Fluctuation in the market itself, it's slow fluctuations. This is like 2017 and then 2018 kind of years, or even 2019 also. To some extent, it is like big fluctuations, but not that big. But 2020 is like huge fluctuations. 2020. 2021, not that big, but slightly still a reasonable fluctuation is what we are seeing 2021. That is why 2020 and 2021 generates the maximum profitability, right? So that's what the interesting aspect here is. Now, as I said, this is smart optimization. We know that we had done the smart optimization. Now, once you're done with the smart optimization, I'll go and do the smart optimization one more time because I have to show you the exhaustion results. In the meantime, I'll show you where you can find optimization resources. You just simply type Amibroker, you just type optimization. You will be able to see the complete optimization, how to do the optimization, how to convert your strategy into optimization. It's just only one line, convert the param into optimize. Create a control, change the param to optimize, that's it, you're all done. Now you're ready to run the optimization. You can run up to a combination of how many combinations you can run in Amibroker? 2 power 64, that is like almost 10 to the power 19, which is like how many billions or trillions? It's in, I think it is in million, billions, something like that. Okay, it's a very big number. That's what I can say. Like, I'm not able to understand what number exactly it is. So something like a couple of trillions, we can say like that. This is the number of combinations you can run. Okay, so they also give an example for a single variable optimization. They also given a variable for 2 variable optimization, multiple variable optimization. And there is no limitation in the number of combinations that you can do. As I said, it goes in trillions. So you can do multi-parameter optimization. You can go with that. And you also get a 3D optimization curve as well. If in case, if particularly you're doing a 2-parameter optimization, right? If you want to get a 3D optimization, this kind of 3D optimization graph is what you'll be able to get, which will be very good for visualization, which is the best parameter. Mostly for selecting the best parameter, we go for this 3D optimization. For that, we need to run the exhaustive optimization. Means you have to run all the combinations to plot. You have to plot the first parameter, second parameter, and your optimization parameter. So it will generate a 3D graph for you. And you can visualize using the view 3D optimization graph button. There is a button is there. So probably right now, optimization is once again running. I can show you after another 4 to 5 minutes. So once you're done with that, you'll be able to do the 3D optimization. As I said, this is more of a time consuming process. If you want to reduce time, what do you have to do? You have to go and use the plugins, Smart Optimizer. So where is the Smart Optimizer here? Yeah, Smart Optimization. In Smart Optimization, you can set the engine. You can set the engine as CMAE or SPSO or TRIB. TRIB means tribes is the plugin. So either you can select which optimizer you want to run. So what is SPSO? What is tribes? What is SPSO, right? Standard particle swarm optimizer, which is nothing but a plugin. You can find that plugin inside. If I go to the, let me go to my C drive. I'll go to my C drive. I'll go to my program files, Amibroker. I go to plugins. If I go to plugins, you can find what you can find. Where is SPSO here? CMAE, this is an optimizer plugin. TRIB, do we have tribes? Yeah, tribes, that is another optimization plugin. It's a DLL plugin, which comes ready-made with the Amibroker itself. And there is one more, SPSO. Where is SPSO? Yeah, this is PSO sample. This is an SPSO. Another optimizer plugin. So these 3 optimizer plugin is what we can use inside our Amibroker for smart optimization. Usually you can find this thing in under plugins. Plugins is not only for data. So this is a data plugin, Nimble Data RT. It's a global data feed plugin for getting the data. And the Trade Studio, you know, that is mostly for bringing proprietary indicators. And CQG is a data plugin. eSignal is a data plugin. DD is an Excel connectivity plugin. But it also has not only a data plugin, not only indicator plugin, it also has a optimizer plugins. Okay, so that optimizer plugin is what we're talking about, SPSO, TRIBs, and CMAE. Okay, now coming back to the topic. Now what we are going to do here is I'm going to enable SPSO plugin by selecting this engine. I'm going to select the standard particle swarm optimizer. All right, that is what I'm going to select. That optimization engine is what I'm going to run. I'm going to run only one time. I'm going to evaluate only 1,000 evaluations out of all the combinations. Let it be whatever the combination. I'm going to select only 1,000 combinations. So within that 1,000 combination, it will come up with the best of the best results. So in our case, how many number of combinations we are doing? 2,500 combinations. So since we are doing 2,500 combination, I can reduce it to something like 500 combinations. 1/5 of the time, I'll be able to complete it very, very fast. I'll show you how we can do that. So which smart optimization is better? Again, if you want to know which smart optimization is better, you have to go and study it. A lot of wiki information has been given. So what is the tribes plugin? Probably it's more getting into statistics over here. It doesn't matter which is faster. Most of them are faster only. So SPSO, tribes, or whatever the model that you want to do, most of them are faster. If you want to go deeper into that, you have to go and study those the scientific background, how it is selecting, how the genetic optimization is done, how the parameters are selected, how it is finding the optimal results. So everything that you need to learn from the scratch, you have to get to know the basics behind that. That is how I'm not going to explain all those things in today's case, because if I'm going to start now, it's going to be a statistical class rather than an Amibroker session, right? So yeah. As of now, we stick to optimization alone. We don't get into the deeper context of optimization. Any of these optimization you can run. I do use the standard SPSO itself. Standard particle swarm optimizer is what I'm going to use it. Otherwise, you just change the engine. That itself more than enough. You change the engine whichever you want. If you want trib, you can run with trib. If you want CMA-ES, you can run with CMA-ES. It's very simple to that. So they are given, if you want to run a trib, this is just 2 lines of code is what you have to add it to your strategy. That's it. So in my case, I'm going to do it with SPSO itself. All this entire 3 code, I'm going to add it to my strategy. So here the optimizer has been done. Exhaustive optimization is done. So I'm going to get the 3D optimization graph. I'll click on optimization, and then I'll go on 3D optimization chart is what I'm going to get over here. You see the 3D optimization graph. So it contains 3 axes. This is X-axis, this is Y-axis, and this is Z-axis. Z-axis is all about what you want to optimize. We try to optimize using what? So if I go to the walk forward, I try to optimize using car or MDD. So the Z-axis itself contains the car or MDD. It contains what? It contains the car or MDD on the Z-axis. So where the car or MDD is better, if you ask me, maybe I could say like it is more better in these areas. So these are the areas where not much of a car or MDD variations. It's kind of a flat plateau. Here it is having some peaks. At times it could be varying. It's having a lot of trough and then peaks and then trough and then peaks and valleys is what we are having. But here it is almost like a flat area. Is it really a flat area? We can go and check it out. You can rotate the 3D graph to figure it out. Is it a flat area or not? So maybe where the flat area is there, you can go and select parameters from there. Maybe that could be a wise option. Maybe these are the zones we can find parameters where we are seeing a parameter. Even there is a small change in the parameters, it is not impacting the car or MDD much. So that kind of analysis you can do mostly by rotating the 3D graph. You can check how I can use this optimization variable, which one I can go and choose. It is not a good idea to choose the peak alone. Blindly choosing the peak often results in disaster, right? It mostly results in curve fitting at times if you are not sure what you're doing. So generally it is highly recommended to choose a plateau area where it doesn't changes the values much, or even small change in parameter, it doesn't impact the results of the car or MDD much. You can use this only for selecting the parameters, just to understand the nature of the system, whether it is curve fitted or not, just to ensure that it is not a curve fitted system. For that, we can use this 3D optimization graph. Now, let's go and run this trading system with a smart optimizer. Above the optimization parameters, I'm going to add these 3 values. I'm going to say like I want to run 500 combinations only. I don't want to run 2,500 combinations, but give me best results within this 500 combinations itself. So that is what I'm asking here. So if I run optimization now, you can see that hardly it is taking 1 minute only. 1 minute, I'm going to get the best of the best results. It's going to run only 500 parameters, and it's going to give me most of the optimal parameters according to that algorithm, SPSO algorithm. It's almost done, right? It's not even a minute or so, it completed. So it found only 90 parameters, which it thinks it is the best one. So one of the combination is like 49 and 6. That is the best combination according to that. Let's go and feed in the 40,6. However, it's not like though there are better variations are available over here. Maybe one single run is not enough. If you want, you can increase the run to 2 runs. 2 runs. 2 runs mean 2 into 500. It's like 1,000 combinations you'll try to analyze. Still, it's going to take a little bit of time. But remember, when you're running a smart optimization, you will not get the 3D optimization graph. 3D optimization graph only available on the what? It will be only available on the exhaustive optimization only. And that too only for 2-parameter optimization only. If you're running a multi-parameter optimization, you cannot, it's not viable to go for an multi-parameter optimization with a 3D optimization graph. You may not end up getting a 3D optimization graph there. All right, so with the 2 runs, still it's completed. It took only 30 seconds to complete. Notice that it took hardly 20 seconds to 30 seconds to complete. At the bottom, you can see completed in 29.46 seconds. So I don't need to mess up here. I can quickly go and get the results here. So one of the results, what I am getting is like 49 and 15. So maybe the 49 and 50. Let's go and check. I'll go and change this to 49 and 15 over here. 49 and 15. Save. I'll run the back test. So I'm going to get the equity curve over here. It's a decent equity curve is what I was getting over here. Not so that decent, but yes, it's still slightly better. Initially, it was slow, steady, consistent. After that, it goes for a slight drawdowns. And then again, 2020 onwards, returns has been keep coming in. So this particular system, it generated, we are with a smart optimizer. This is like trib, the SPSO, right? Instead, I'll go for a trib. So what is the difference? We don't have much of a difference here. It's more or less, you don't find the difference as such. More or less the time it's going to take is going to be maybe slightly higher, I think. Here it is still saying 2 minutes, but at times it will be finishing very faster at times. At the nth minute, sometimes it will be finishing very faster. If it sends not much of a best parameters according to that, it will be giving up halfway. It will not necessarily, it has to do all the 500 runs. So another 1 more minute, it is left for the optimization to complete. So it's going to select what? Select the best car or MDD. A reasonable returns, at the same time, reasonable risk also. So almost it had taken, I think it's taken 1 minute and probably 15 seconds, I believe. Yeah, so almost 74 seconds is what it had taken to complete 475 rows. Here, it's able to get a higher car over MDD, which is still a reasonable figure, by the way. Is there any other way we can maximize the net profitability? If you could check, maybe this parameter is something better. Very close to that car or MDD. Same time, slightly increased profitability also. And looking into the parameters, most of the parameters are coming into that zone only, like where the variations are not much. So that zone, that plateau zone is what we are able to reach there. Mostly the plateau zones are about 30 to 50 levels is where the plateau zones are. So if I choose 49 and 30, let's say I'll go and choose 49 and 30, 49 and 30. I may end up getting a reasonable risk reward ratio. It's slow, steady, consistent over a period of time. Drawdown is also quite controlled over here. The goal is to control the drawdowns. That's what the strategies, what we are trying to attempt to do is doing over here over a period of time. And moreover, you can see that it's slow, steady, consistent returns. The returns are equally distributed. None of the months has been ended with the losses. So maybe these results are comparatively better. By analyzing all the situations, almost every month is ending profitable. That's what most of the traders wants. And that is what everybody wants. And yes, it also able to control the risk. At the same time, it is not the maximum returns, but it is able to deliver a reasonable amount of returns. We are also have to compensate on one side on the reasonable amount of returns. At the same time, the smoothness of the equity is not disturbed much. Okay, it's been slow, steady, consistent returns. That's what, if that is a goal, and then yes, it also fits under the criteria of not overfitting. We are also selecting around the plateau zones. We are not going and catching something peak. If you're going and catching the peak zones, mostly it could be a curve fitting thing. So not necessarily this has to be curve fitted one. So obviously, this is something a very interesting place to look out for. Maybe this could be a reasonable thing to trade. The number of trades also not much, 1031 trades only. So number of trades comes down, and win rate increases on other side. That is something which is emotionally slightly a better one. Previously, it is like 35%. So now comparatively 40% is a decent thing. And the number of trades comes down. So number of slippages also comes down over here for you. So overall, maybe it could be though, but the numbers are a bit weird. That is the only problem. But then it is not in the period of, it's not in the peak period. If it's a peak, I could say like it is a curve fitted one. It is more or less, it is a, yeah, it's a fine-tuned one. Finally, this is the thing which we are able to fine-tune it to brought a complete profitability on across all the years, not on all the months, because if you see all the months, you might be getting a mixed value. Some months it is profitable, some months it is in the losses. Now, some people, what they will do, they will try to set the commissions as 0. So that is one of the worst idea you can do. Even if you're going to do that, even a dumbest of the dumbest strategy will survive. Right? It will be giving you that 45-degree line. The one somebody was asking, it gives you like smooth 45-degree line. But in real world, we always have cost. We have to pay to the broker, to the government, to the exchange, to the SEBI and everybody, to the data feed, to the internet, to the electricity. And there we go. Right, so we have a transaction cost. Ensure that when you're running any strategy, transaction cost do come over there. At least you have a visibility how much you're paying at the end of the 11 years if you're going to trade only one lots. Win rate and loss rate, 40:60 means more losses. How profits are generated? That is a question from Ramakrishna. So let me tell you, it's not about the win rate. It's about the average profit and average losses. So there's something called average profits. On an average, you're generating a profit of 11,585. And whenever there is an average loss of 5,181, means it is almost 1:2 kind of risk reward ratio. So that answers the question. Risk reward matters, not the win rate. Win rate is an emotional cushion. It's not, we're not getting an 1:1 payoff. Here payoff differs. Whenever you're winning, you are winning on an average, you're winning 11,585. But whenever you're losing only 5,181. All right. So that's why the annual return is like annualized to 17.67. Returns are generated slow and steadily over a period of time, not on month, not on week. This is a simple trend following system, by the way. All right. Anyways, so this is something which very interesting trading system, according to me. It's a very simple trading system also, not a complex trading system as such. But then this involves only 2-parameter optimization. Now I'm going to go for some 4-parameter optimization over here. Let's say I'm going to pull up one of my trading strategy here. So here is Trade Studio V1 trading system here. I'm going to use Bank Nifty 15-minute wheel intra V5. Right. So if you could see that the parameter contains almost, we have how many parameters? We have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parameters. I'm going to go for a 5-parameter optimization. Of course, I cannot do exhaustive optimization. If I'm going to do exhaustive optimization, it's going to run for at least months. It's going to run. Imagine the number of combinations like this is like 20 into 100 into 100 into 100 into 100 combinations, you will go mad, right? If you want to run, you have to wait for 2 months to complete one run of optimization. That is where I'm going to run 2 times of 100 run combinations is what I'm going to run. So that means it's not going to take me months to complete it, probably a couple of minutes, maximum half an hour, I'll be able to complete the entire operations. So let me run over here. So I'm just running an multi-parameter optimization. That is like 5-parameter optimization I'm going to run. It is like you want a better picture, at the same time, better voice, better clarity in your picture, better contrast, better brightness, everything you want and optimize. Complete optimization you want it. So first I'll run the backtest here. So this is a backtest on a 3 lakhs capital. So it is generating over a period of time. Maybe if you find that this is not a smooth returns, I want even better returns. This you need to note down what is the CAGR. I mean, what is the CAR or MDD is generating. If the CAR or MDD is like bit of poor, it's like 0.64. Maybe we'll try to improve the CAR or MDD. In that case, what I'll try to do, I'll go and run the smart optimization. If I run optimize, automatically the code is having the smart optimization here, right? So I'll click on optimize, automatically it's going to run the smart optimization. So it's going to find out of that best parameter. I hardly it's going to run for only 8 minutes. Within 8 minutes, it's going to get me the results. So you can run simultaneously any number of optimization. More the core you are having, computer cores. Right? In my case, I think, I'm not sure how many cores I'm having. If I go to my task manager, if I go to the performance, if I go to CPU, and I'm having 2 cores. Okay, more the cores you're having, it more the multi-threads. You see that it's running a multi-thread, 0, 1 threads. So it is running on 2 CPUs. I'm having two core machines. So it is running simultaneously on both the machines. If you're having multi-core processor, probably your backtesting will be even much faster, slightly faster. So because Amibroker supports something called multi-threading, so it can make use of your core processors, and probably more the cores, faster your results are likely to be. So you can see here I'm having a total 4 processors, which is divided into 2 cores. So all the 4 processors are entire operations are, and entire backtesting is running in 4 different processors. Every second, maybe 4 parameters are running on 4 different cores or 4 different processors. Well, it's up to this point, we got some results. One of the result is like it's having something like the weird combination 19, 90, 25, 25, 35, 185. That's something very interesting combination. And it is having a CAR over MDD. What is the CAR over MDD? It's like 0.54, still not an improved one. Maybe if I want an improved one, I'm having 1.2, but does it generate decent returns? Yeah, 25% CAGR, it's still a decent return only. And 95, 115, 25, 50, 170. That's the optimized parameter that I can get. At this point in time, still that's not a best CAR over MDD yet. Maybe in another 6 months, we'll get to know best of the best combinations. Why I'm running 2 runs? Because the space, the search space, what I'm looking for is a very wide, very vast space. So at least I need thousands or 2,000 of data to ensure that whatever the parameters that I'm getting is the right parameters. It's not ending up getting some sort of a curve fitted parameters. That's what I'm slightly going for a wider space. At times I'm okay, even if the optimization is running for 30 minutes, I'm okay with that. But since it is a multi-parameter optimization, even running 30 minutes, within 30 minutes, if you're running an 5-parameter optimization, it's a decent thing, right? So rather in the olden times, right, when you are using Amibroker 5.0 or 5.2, there is no concept of smart optimization parameter, if I'm not wrong. I think 5.4 onwards or 5.3 onwards, the smart optimization concept arrived. I'm not exactly sure, but earlier we don't have that such kind of options. So when smart optimization itself got introduced, the time of optimizing time drastically comes down, particularly for complex trading systems. So hardly another 3 minutes and a half to go. So that we'll be able to find some decent returns with a decent equity curve, with a decent win rate, of course. In the meantime, there's a small promo to run before concluding the results. So we are running a program called Quantzilla. It is like 75 plus hours of training, particularly on designing trading systems. And also not only on designing trading systems, right from the scratch of Amibroker AFL programming, you will be learning. So we split into two categories. One is Quantzilla Basic and Quantzilla Advanced. Quantzilla Basic is mostly for the traders who want to get into learning Amibroker AFL to design their own indicators, designing their own scanners, let it be investment scanners or trading scanners, and absolutely how to build your own systematic trading strategies properly, right? So flawless designing and creating your own alerts, dashboard, strategy backtesting, of course, strategy development, strategy optimization, strategy evaluation, how to evaluate your trading strategies, how to do walk forward testing, like in sample, out of sample analysis, and long shot, designing your own long shot trading strategies, intraday trading strategies, options backtesting, how to do with Amibroker, and of course, pair trading, and more focus, right? It is almost like 15 days of training session. So 15 into 3, almost entire Quantzilla focus on total 75 hours. In that, basic alone comes like 15 into 3, almost 45 hours of live training. Live coding is what you want to learn, right? So if you are interested, we are starting from coming December 6 onwards. The new batch is going to start. So if you are interested, if you are a serious trader, if you want to become a serious trading system trader, or you want to become a trading system developer, then it's a good course to join. All I can guarantee you is an institutional grade coding program, and the knowledge on markets is what I can guarantee you on that. All right, so I think we are still 2 more minutes left to almost complete this, so that we have a fair idea about where do we stand. At this point in time, you can still go and check where do we stand. Okay, you can go and check the highest profitability, but I would not recommend doing that. Rather, one should go for an car or MDD with maximum profitability. Something like, maybe this is the parameter which is, as of now, it is giving a decent results. 95, 40, 95, 45, 165. 95 is the ATR, and other 4 length. Is there any other best parameters that we got? It's not the best, highest profitability, but it is comparatively, it is giving me highest profitability with the lower drawdowns. But then if I want to look drawdowns in terms of lesser number, probably I would look for something like this. Maybe I'll go for this. Something like 3.4 is what a reasonable one. If you're looking for a highest profitability, then this is the number, this is the parameter you have to choose. If you're looking for an reasonable risk reward ratio, then maybe this is the parameter you have to go out for. I'll note the number 95, 40, 95, 45, 170. So what I'll do here, I'll go and I'll better copy this, because maybe later on I have to replace this back again. If I want to use, what is the number here? 95, and then 40, and then 95, then what, 45 again, 170. Notice that I'm giving a step size of 5, so that I'm not interested in numbers like 171, 172 kind of weird numbers. Always my numbers will be in multiples of 5 to keep things to some extent rational. And run the back test. Again, you'll be getting a final results. 1,873 trades, still comparatively better in managing the risk, reward, everything. And returns also decent, risk also controlled, and to a greater extent, and profitability, yes, almost every month it is almost profitable, except 1 month, 2017, it was 1 year, 2017 was under losses, but rest other months are totally better. And that's what the whole system it had delivered. Anyways, this is what I do use is I don't use this particular pattern. I'll go with the previous one itself. I'll do a line comment, remove here. Run the back test. I'll go to the profit table. Win rate is higher, and moreover, risk perspective, it is like 2015 is what it had delivered losses. Rest all the months it had delivered a reasonable returns over a period of time. Yeah, so far it is like system has been live since 2021 onwards. The system goes live in Bank Nifty. Otherwise, we are also having a system for Nifty as well. Same Wheel Intra V5, more or less similar approach. So Wheel Intra V5 for Nifty 15, same. Everything is going to be same. I'll run the backtest here. And this is a kind of a live system. It's been running since 2017 onwards. It's been running for more than almost 4 years. 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21. This is like the 5th year here. And here we go. If I run, I can also go and do the backtest only for right from last 2 years alone. This is for the last 2 years. What happened, what kind of risk happened, what kind of rewards happened, and everything you can able to see it from here on a 3 lakhs capital. Or you can go on to see only 2021. You can go and try it out. You can run the back test and you can check what kind of returns it had generated. So far it had generated a kind of a 66% returns with the 138 trades on a 15-minute time frame, right? And with a win rate of 46%. And that is what, so it's like kind of a crazy thing, like crazy up move, last mostly, and again it gained, and it also touched a new equity curve. Remember this I'm doing with the 0.03, right? So sometimes if it is 0.02 is your slippages, we are able to control your slippages, maybe the things will be much better in that case. So bigger the commissions and slippages, your maybe the returns will diminish and risk also increase slightly a bit. Cost also increases. If cost increases, then equity curve gets de-aligned. All right, so that's what I would like to talk about in today's session. Maybe next week we will try to come up with yet another interesting session. I hope you learned something new in today's session. Thank you.